Please just let us purge.
The Purge. I honestly haven't met anyone who wants The Purge to be a full-on chapter in Dead by Daylight. I think at most you guys only want a cosmetic for the Legion. Universal Classic Monsters. You are probably a fan of cult classics. You have been waiting 5 years now for Behavior to add a werewolf or vampire killer. I mean, the choices are endless, am I wrong? Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, Dracula, there is so much to choose from. Five Nights at Freddy's. I have never met a single community so ruthless as the Five Nights at Freddy's one. It does not matter what the devs tweet, these people will take every single thing as FNAF evidence. Some of them still think the Hellraiser teasers were for FNAF. How about the newspapers? Is that also a FNAF reference? And don't you dare telling them that FNAF is for little children, because you will have 5 people telling you how a serial child killer rotting inside a bunny suit is not for children. Anytime Scott Cawthon talks, there is a group of people making 5 videos about how FNAF is coming to Dead by Daylight. The day FNAF comes to DVD is going to be the most hyped day I will probably see since the day they confirmed Silent Hill. You probably watched every single Springtrap speculation video there is on YouTube, and every fan-made trailer and their videos music you can find. Nobody though likes the new security breach game, and nobody wants Vanny to be the killer. Friday the 13th. Your favorite game was probably the Friday the 13th game, and you truly believed it would kill Dead by Daylight. But guess where we are now? You are probably up to date with every single court case that has happened and the legal stages of the license, and still waiting for the day everything is solved so they can make more movies and so Jason can finally join DBD along with Myers, Leatherface and Freddy to complete the classic horror icon. Alien. The Xenomorph, Ellen Ripley and the Nostromo are constantly your picks for Dream Killer, Survivor and Map. All you want is a badass alien chasing a badass survivor in a badass map. Possibly a Mori that represents the iconic chest burster scene, or maybe a power that incorporates the face huggers. Either way, the perfect organism deserves to be in Dead by Daylight. Your favorite killer right now is probably the Demogorgon, since it's the closest thing we have to an alien. Slenderman. You're probably a young adult that grew watching creepypastas and old school mystery videos. You cannot forget the amazing style and iconicity that Slenderman has, but it's still kinda sad how he lost all the popularity he had in the past. Whatever they do, you want Behavior to introduce the 8 pages concept in DVD. It. You're probably another fan of the classics, and always wanted the famous clown in the game. You probably watched the concept made by the fan channel every single day, and now how good Pennywise would be in the game if only they added it. After all, the entity already looks like it's inspired on the movie. But most of you know that the problem of this license is Stephen King, not Behavior, since they also want him to be in the game. Also, some of you probably haven't read a single book and only watched the movies, so you don't know about that weird kid scene in the C-words in the original book, and if you do a quick Google search after this video, you might be shocked.
Be my victim.
Candyman. You won't rest until DBD adds Candyman on their game. If you're a content creator, you know how much the Candyman speculation does to your channel. Every single time, before a big update, the question comes, is Candyman the next killer? Funnily enough, that is if you are American, which most of my viewers are. If you're from Europe, you probably haven't even watched the film, or don't know who Candyman is outside of the DBD community. Seriously, after so many years of false alarms, do you think Candyman will join Dead by Daylight? Scooby Doo. You are probably a veteran of Dead by Daylight. Every time there is a chance to vote for Scooby Doo in a DVD survey, you do so. You would be happy if the original survivors got the cosmetics for the mystery gang, and that's it, since you know how they want to keep the brand family friendly. Of course, there will be some smartasses that will comment down below, but Scooby-Doo already did adult comics and series in the past. Whatever man, I bet Hanna-Barbera does not want Shaggy to be gutted by the hack. Be real. You stupid bitch, you filthy slut! Chucky. You probably believe that the Raggedy Ann doll that is inside of the house of Haddonfield, or the doll in the Dread skin, are teasers for Chucky to come to the game, but come on. The reality is that Chucky will probably take a long while to be in the game if he hasn't been included yet. The closest thing we have is the twins, and I don't see nobody playing as them when the gameplay would probably be the same. To this day, nobody knows how they are going to do the hooking part for Chucky. Predator. If you want Predator in the game, you probably also want Alien too. The amount of potential Predator has is amazing, and who else will be the most overpowered killer in the game if it's not the best hunter in the universe? The question is, do we add Arnold as a survivor for this license or as part of the Terminator license?
You really crossed the line, eh?
The Walking Dead. You are probably still obsessed with the Instagram picture that Norman Reedus posted with the Huntress mask on his face, and despite that picture being almost a year old, you still haven't lost hope. There is a potential for killers and survivors that are really cool, I do have to agree. Your favorite killer to play against is probably Nemesis due to the zombies, and extra points if you play on Coldwind since it's the closest map we have to the Walking Dead atmosphere.
Little faith.
Outlast. There are two types of Outlast fans, the ones that want Chris Walker and the ones that want Richard Traeger. Which team are you? I am a Chris Walker enjoying personally. A map of the Asylum would be super cool, but probably an RPD 2.0. Most importantly, would this be the first time they make a face for Miles? Despite all of this, the closest we're going to be to Outlast is the upcoming Outlast multiplayer game, so the chances we get this license are slim, and you know it. The Thing. You are probably obsessed with the quote on the anniversary loading screen that references The Thing. You're also probably older than usual. A killer that can turn into a survivor, and then a monster killer sounds cool. You have probably been asking for a killer with that power since you joined the game. Bioshock. I know some of you actually want this license to happen. Some of you thought that the Huntress is a reference to the Splicers from Bioshock, and that we will be getting this license soon. This was like 5 years ago. Despite how iconic the Big Daddy is to the franchise, the Big Sister fits more for the maps and gameplay of the game. After all, how is the Big Daddy supposed to enter the Haddonfield houses? The Conjuring. You will never forgive DVD Leaks for falsely claiming that The Conjuring is coming to Dead by Daylight, when it ended up being the artist, still waiting for the Warrens as survivors to this day, not losing hope.
Like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Scream. To this day, you have a grudge against Behavior for not adding Sydney as a survivor and the Woodsboro map to the game. You probably bought the Scream costume in Call of Duty Cold War 2, as it's the closest thing you have to playing as the original killer. Despite hating Behavior so much, you probably have almost all cosmetics of Ghostface, and I guarantee that everyone that has the classic outfit has them equipped right now, and if they don't, it's either because you are trying out another outfit that you recently bought, or you cannot afford the classic outfit. Probably Prestige 3 Ghostfaces as well, with the Prestige knife as your personal favorite.
Here's Johnny.
The Shining. It doesn't matter what power will they give to Jack Torrance or how balanced the Overlook Hotel will be, all that you're worried about is how the breakable wall animation is going to be. Is it going to be a Here is Johnny reference or not?
Get up, you little ugly bitch. Come on.
Scary Movie. You are probably making references constantly to this franchise while playing Dead by Daylight. To this day, you are still hoping that they add the stoned face mask for Ghostface, and every time you are playing against a Sadako, you make the "Cindy, the TV is leaking" comment. You are probably annoyed for the other people, but at least you're having fun. Also, Brenda would be way too overpowered to be a survivor in Dead by Daylight. Siren Head. If you were born earlier, you probably would be a Slenderman fan, or you already are one. You are also aware how Trevor Henderson, the creator of Siren Head, is in favor of adding it to the game, and you are still waiting for Behavior to accept it. Out of all the licenses in this video, this is the only license where it falls on Behavior's end to have it in the game or not.
Jesus! Over fire!
Dead Space. You still probably remember the supposed Dead Space leak from some years ago that turned out to be fake. You are also probably hyped for the Callisto Protocol game and hope it delivers a close experience to the original games. You probably want to see Isaac in the game with the same suit, and every time the killer injures you, the spine dynamically changes to mimic the original game. The Necromorph could be probably the scariest killer in the game by far if implemented right. Your favorite killer is probably the Demogorgon, just like the Alien fans. Junji Ito. The fact that they added Attack on Titan opens up the door to the famous works of the famous horror mangaka Junji Ito. You already probably know that they collaborated with the Identity V game for mobile. I would love some skins inspired by his works on the official Dead by Daylight game. Amnesia. There are so few Amnesia fans, but I hear you guys. You either grew up watching PewDiePie or other famous YouTubers playing this game, depending on your country of origin. This game is a classic and deserves a spot in the game for sure. You probably want the Brute or the Servant Grunt to be in the game, but either of the two works. Your favorite killer is probably the Dredge, as it's the closest you will have to have an Amnesia representative in DBD.
Impressive. Very nice. Let's see Paul Allen.
American Psycho. Either you're a diehard Patrick Bateman fan, or you just want him in because of the memes. Either way, both of you would only play and main Patrick Bateman if he ever got them in the game. You are constantly making references to the movie, either with door service reservations, Let's See Paul Allen's card, or listen to Too Hip to Be Square unironically. The most Sigma males of the community of Dead by Daylight by far. Stranger Things. You are either completely depressed after the leaks turn out to be fake, or you still have copium and believe the license will return to the game. You are constantly insulting Netflix for their choice of removing the license of the game. Every time you watch Stranger Things, all you can think of is how amazing the new outfits for Steve and Nancy would look like in the game, or how cool the new characters would be as legendary skins. Either you bought all the skins in the game already, or you're missing out on Scoops Ahoy. Honestly, I am sorry.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Resident Evil. You guys are probably hyped to play Wesker this September, and are excited to have 2 chapters in the game. For those of you who want Lady Dimitrescu, you guys are all simps. Who would choose this character over Wesker or Nemesis? Like seriously. The fact that there was even speculation to begin with that one of the daughters it would be the killer in the license was absolutely ridiculous and was only made for views. There are still some of you that want Jack Baker to be a killer though. Maybe a Resident Evil Part 3? Either way, there are 2 types of you. The one that absolutely hate RPD as a map in Dead by Daylight, and the smartasses that say just play Resident Evil 2 and use that argument as justification for this horrid map. Ash vs Evil Dead. What are you doing watching a Dead by Daylight video? Go play the new Ash vs Evil Dead game instead. I heard some very positive reviews about it. And honestly, if you still play DVD after that game released, you probably do so in the hopes that behavior adds young Ash or medieval Ash into the game.